Hello, this is your host, Thomas O'Neill with the Voynich manuscript, once again, MS-408. And I have an interesting one. I've kind of delayed on this folio 86V4 on the explanation. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. The symbolism I understood, it's just I couldn't find a word in Latin because it really there are very few Latin words in this document. It's a conlang glossalia nature with a hiss tongue, has this reptilian type of a hiss to it. And I would say about, I don't know, close to 95% of the words, uh, well, if you include novum, octo, and quattro for four, I can't pronounce that word in Latin very well, those take up a lot of the repeatable words that I've used for the number system in that Voynich. So if you exclude that, about 95% of the Voynich manuscript is sort of just gibberish, meaningless filler text. Yet some of the words are word puzzles with little Latin words and introduced into the word to make meaning. And seldom, though, Wilford did put in a Latin word. Yet he did do it in a way that explains some star charts in these charts, these circular charts. So onward with this, with the explanation for folio 86V4. This is about um, sowing the fields. This is about planting and getting ready to make way to provide food for yourself in the coming months. And how I know this is if you look inside here, here's a head and the hands holding food. Here's some grain. Once again, here's a person with holding some grain. And here's another person holding a little muffin. And here's another person holding some food. Four people. And this waning crescent is very interesting because over here in Stellarium, there's a waning crescent for the supernova date of 4/30/1006. And this is a waning crescent. Now, what makes this folio interesting is in medieval times, yes, blessing crops and fields was a common part of medieval agricultural life, especially in Christian Europe, and it blended religious ritual with older folk practices. Rogation days were the most formal version of this in the days before Ascension Day. Roughly late April, May, clergy and parishioners would process through the fields and boundaries of the parish, was called beating the bounds, chanting litanies and asking for God's blessing on the crops, protection from bad weather, and good harvest. This was a major fixture of medieval agricultural calendar in England and much of Western Europe. So to cut to the chase, within this folio there's a paragraph down at the bottom. Well, the 18th word, my cipher finds a lone, all alone Latin word bao, which if you go into my cipher, SAR, the lone SAR EVA Latin word is bao for my decoded word, but the lone EVA word is SAR. So I took bao and went into the Latin word, and bao means to bless. So it's about blessing the crops. And this is a time of growing your crops and sowing. So, and the date, I believe I have right, because most of the charts are about the supernova of 4:30. Thank you. Have a nice day.